Hi everyone, Aidan here with etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the Swagman XTC2 TILT bike rack here on our 2018 Kia Sedona. Now this is a platform style bike rack holding the bike in these wheel hoops and primarily by this frame hook up top. Now, frame contact is going to mean a couple things. We want to avoid carbon frame bikes because this pressure will damage the frame. And then with alternative frame bikes, we will need a bike adapter bar to ensure good contact here with the hook to the frame. Aside from that, it's got a 35-pound weight capacity per bike, so just make sure you're staying within those limits and you should be all good. Now, with this, you do have the ability to, like the name suggests, tilt away from the vehicle. And this is with bikes loaded. Underneath the bike rack, we've got a pin with retaining clip, which is this little silver guy right here. Undo that and you can just lean the bike rack back, and although it is very, very close with our current setup, it does clear. You can see right there, there's less than an inch of space between the pedal and about an inch and a half of space with our handlebar. Now this is a very large mountain bike, so with your bikes you might not have as close a call, but it is great to know that it works. We can get back here to change our shoes before or after a ride, or just get something out of the back if we need it without having to unload the whole bike rack. We'll get this closed down here, and we can just lift it back into place and re-secure that pin and clip underneath. I will say, because of where it pivots, tilting it is actually really easy to do, and I like that it doesn't just start falling down the moment we release that pin. I can stand up to a more comfortable height and tilt it from here where I have better leverage. Now I'll get the bike removed here. We'll start by going to the wheel hoops and just undoing these straps. These are secondary points of contact to help secure the wheels down in those cradles. And then we can come to the hooks. Now we've got to get both of these removed, and with them we just push that gray button to release the ratcheting mechanism. And you can see there's a small hole there where if we want to add a padlock or something, we can. And once both are off, then we're free to get the bike off. Now my one gripe with this is the center mast. That's something I have to kind of fish the bike around, or I have to lift it up really high over top of it. So it's not my favorite thing in the world. It's going to make loading and unloading a little bit more difficult, but that is a trade-off we make for the other features like the tilting and just being able to operate the bike rack pretty simply. I always like to replace these straps just so they're not loosely flying around. And then of course want to re-secure these hooks on there because we don't want to lose these. Those will just push down over that mast there. And then if we want to, we can actually fold this mast down. We've got a pin in the center here that we can remove, tilt it to either side, and so long as we're not hitting any clearance points like with that hand knob right here, we should be all good. We can tilt it to either side though. And this could be another way, maybe if it doesn't tilt far enough, you can get hatch access this way by unloading the bikes. And now it doesn't fold up against the vehicle, so I'm actually going to put this back up. Some bike racks will be able to actually fold up and save some space when the bikes are unloaded. This one from the bumper is going to stick out 19 inches, and that's pretty much what you're stuck with. If you want to leave it in the hitch, that's what we were working with, and that's how much it's going to add. Ground clearance, though, is going to be 12 inches here to the lowest point right here. So that's not too bad. And one thing this does have is actually a feature for more like garage storage. You can pull these pins on the side and actually fold these arms up just like that, re-secure them with the newly aligned holes there. If we can get that hole to line up. Now this is the one thing with pins and everything that I don't like, is that they can be really stubborn to find their homes sometimes. For video purposes, I'm just going to leave that there, but just know that that's kind of a sticking point for bike racks like these. And now with this, whenever you do take it out of your hitch, it'll take up a lot less room in your garage. You could drive with it like this, but there's really not much purpose to it like that. It's just going to be bulky and blocking up your license plate that way. Now down at the hitch, we can see it's working with our 2-inch receiver tube here using the included adapter sleeve, but it'll also work with 1.25 inch if we have that. And it comes with an anti-rattle bolt, keeping things solid in the hitch. I would maybe recommend adding a locking anti-rattle bolt to it to make sure it's secure in the hitch, as well as those padlocks that I mentioned earlier for the wheel hooks. And overall, it's a pretty solid bike rack. I like that it tilts and we get hatch access, but all the different pins and everything and the lack of folding up to save space, for me is kind of a deal breaker, but it might not matter to you. If you do not really care about the tilting and everything, and you want it to be more compact, check out the Hollywood Rack's Destination 2 bike rack. It's a pretty comparable option to this one, but either way you go, they're going to be a good fit for the Sedona here. Thanks for watching.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action. This simulates turning corners or evasively maneuvering. Once we get to the full speed bumps, we'll see the up and down action. This will be just like driving in and out of a parking lot, parking garage, or driveway. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement.